Hey, welcome to Eat Your Backyard. I'm here in the morning on a day off. It's actually a weekday. I'm looking out over the beautiful Atlantic Ocean. Glassy, some nice waves. I'll be surfing again. I went out, did a dawn patrol this morning. Caught some very nice waves. And I'm sitting here thinking, wow, you know, just within my vision of what I can see from this dune crossover here, there are so many edible things. And I did a whole series about this, but I thought I'd kind of condense some of these ideas into one video. So just from where I stand, what's edible? All right, well, the first thing is you just look right down on the beach. Now, this isn't very fresh, but this is Sargasso Sargassum weed. And it's a type of seaweed that floats out in the Sargassum Sea that's about 50 miles off the coast here. And this is rotten. It's brown and gross. You wouldn't want to eat this, but when it washes up and it's fresh, it's nice and green, and it's actually incredibly good for you to eat. And sometimes I'll use it around plants to almost form a type of mulch. You have to rinse it off because you don't want to put salt around your plants. But Sargassum weed, that's one right off the bat. It's lying on the beach. There was some fresh stuff down there. We could go down and take a look at it. Here's another thing. Sea oats. Sea oats are actually edible, believe it or not. And here's a better view. Yeah, there aren't any oats on them now. You see these stalks, they're stripped bare, but in the spring, you know, they'll start to grow new stalks, and then we'll have oats towards the end of the summer. And those oats are edible. Now, they are a protected type of grass in the dunes because they believe that they hold the dunes in place. And you know, I always have to say, well, how's that working out? You know, it's yeah. I think the best thing you could do is promote people to just grow it everywhere. But you could grow it, you could buy it at a store and grow it in your yard and harvest the oats and eat them. They're actually oats. So there's that. And here's another one, the sea grape. Sea grape plants here. You see how it gets burned up in the front? You're from that was mostly from Hurricane Matthew, just whipped the heck out of these plants. And this time of year, January, not a lot going on, but pretty soon they'll start growing their flowers, and then flowers will become clusters of sea grapes, which are actually delicious. And I'm going to make a bunch of videos on that this spring when they start blooming, because when they bloom, bring the 5-gallon bucket. They are showering down on the ground, and you could just pick them until you are tired of picking them. So sea grapes are incredible, and just everywhere in this area of Central Florida, and that's another cool edible. So now we're up to 3. Now look over here. That's the century plant. Right there. The agave. They make tequila out of agave. This is actually edible. The flowers on this plant are edible. The stalk is edible. And not many people I've talked to about this actually know that. They might have, of course, heard that the agave, you know, they crush up the center part, cut off all those leaves that come out and crush it up to make the juice that they turn into tequila, but agave is a good edible. And let's see what else we have here. Oh yeah, right there. Good old Sabal Palm. The Sabal Palm is absolutely edible. The hearts of palm are delicious. They grow so easily around here. You could grow 3 in your yard just to eat them. Really, you mean they have to chop them down to get to the heart. It's the center part inside the palm itself. But Sabal Palm, heart of palm, is actually totally delicious. And then we move on down the way, and we've got here the Natal Plum. This isn't actually a native of Florida. It's from Natal, Africa, I believe. But the Natal Plum, there it is, produces a really delicious fruit, I think. It exudes this white sap. It's very, very easy to grow from seed. If you find a Natal Plum, they're red. They're about the size, a diameter of a quarter, maybe an inch or so, 2 inches long. I'm gonna look here to see if I can find any Natal plums. They kind of blend in because they're about the same size as these leaves. Just gonna have to look everywhere, but I don't see any. But anyway, the Natal Plum is another delicious edible. Whenever I see them, I always snatch them up and eat them. Of course, one thing you want to be aware of with the Natal Plum is medieval thorns. there are thorns everywhere. So if you're going to grow one of these, like I have before from seed, just be aware it's not the kind of plant you want to hug or have your kid fall into. And then if we keep on looking around, well, now here's some things that people planted, of course, and that's a coconut tree. Coconuts are absolutely edible, as almost everybody knows, and not too many up on that coconut tree right now. They probably have picked them and now they're starting to regrow, but yeah, plenty of coconut trees. There's another one right there, mixed in with some Sabal palms. But hey, look at this. Oh boy, what do we have here? That is a lot of prickly pears, and those suckers are ready to go right now. Look at the sheer quantity of prickly pears. Absolutely super cool. The prickly pear is native to this area. Produces tons of fruit. Thing is, you got to be careful when you eat them that you don't get the spines in your lip. So that's another one. Oh, I see there's a Hawaiian sea grape over there too. That has some medicinal uses, but typically just used as an ornamental shrub. It's real hardy with salt air, it grows super fast, easy to grow from cutting. So those are just a few examples of what you could look to eat if you were at the beach. I don't know, if you were marooned perhaps. Oh, look at that, there's the dune sunflower. I think those are edible too. They certainly are another one that's very, very easy to grow. So yeah, just in a short amount of time, we found lots of edible plants at the beach. And you know, whenever I'm looking, I'm always thinking, wow, I'm surrounded by food. And it was one of the early curiosities when I moved to Florida was, what can you eat around here? And really what I found was just about everything. It's amazing. Not to mention, you know, if I looked around a little more, I could probably find a few edible, what people call weeds, like purslane, which is actually, I think, better than lettuce, and awesome. But let me know if you could think of some other edibles that are on the dunes. I would be interested to know, or at the beach that are common around here, or maybe in your area if you live in a different area of the ocean. This is a tough place for plants to grow, so when you find plants around, for me, it's just like amazing that even in a harsh environment like this, there's lots to eat if you know what you're looking for. So hey, thanks for watching this video. If you like videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, Eat Your Backyard, and you'll be notified as new videos come out. And if you like this video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and thank you for watching.